What's happening, folks? I am out in West Texas at a place where I hunt and camp occasionally. It's pretty rare to come out here purely for a camping trip. I have before once or twice. Mostly we're out here to hunt. It's almost turkey season. Not quite, but it's greening up. But today I want to talk about a piece of camping gear that some people are really into. For me, it's just kind of a casual convenience thing, and that's hammock camping. So I'm not specifically a hammock camper in terms of I go out backpacking and just bring a hammock. For me, it's more, like I said, a thing of convenience. So I always keep a hammock kind of in the toolbox in my truck, just in case I need to pull over and stretch out for a bit, or I'm out camping or hunting and just want to relax. So for a long time, this was kind of the industry standard. So this is the ENO, I think that's Eagle's Nest Outdoors or Eagle's Nest Outfitters. And that was the standard camping hammock for a long time. Obviously there's those rope ones with the big wooden bars on the sides, but that's heavy, clunky. You're not gonna haul that anywhere. So this one is a nice hammock made out of nice parachute material that probably 8 or 9 years ago, you weren't cool unless you had one of those. So that was kind of the standard. But since then, there have been a whole lot of Chinese knockoffs, really. Lots of different brands, and some brands out there that really market themselves and have a name brand, like what's it, Grand Trunk? I think that's the name of the brand. That's one I see a lot. I've got a buddy who got a good deal on a Grand Trunk hammock that I think he got at Sam's or Costco or somewhere. But now there's so many of these that look so similar to the ENO that I just want to answer, are they any good? And what's the difference? So I have this one, and this is basically the Amazon Basics one. This is the Anortrek. So you'll see that on Amazon for really cheap. This is the double. So there's a double and a single. This is the double, but the ENO is the single. So lengthwise, I think that one's a foot longer, and I think it has about 2 feet of extra material. So I have slept in this, camped in this. It's okay. But if you want to lay diagonal across it, I definitely recommend going with the double. Now, really, they call it a double, but you're not going to want to fit 2 people in there. Even if it's somebody you really like, you basically just slide to the middle and get crammed together anyway. So maybe if you're hanging out for a little bit, it's fine, but you wouldn't want to snuggle up too long in the double just because it does get cramped. But like I said, you can lay diagonal across the double, which gives you a little bit more room. Now I got my boots on, but you can even get a sleeping pad in here, a little bit more room, and you can get in here and kind of wrap the material around you a bit too, which is nice, just to keep the dew off of you or any moisture. Now I don't have any sort of canopy or anything like that set up, but you can get those. So what's the difference between the Anortrek Amazon Basics hammock and the ENO? First of all, the ENO costs about 3 times as much. So I think this was either 49 or 59 bucks when I got it, and it didn't even come with the straps. I had to buy them separately. But everything about this is extremely well made. It's double stitched on the ends. I have not really taken good care of this thing, but it still looks like it's in just about perfect condition. Folds up really tight in its own bag. The bag is sewn in, so you can't possibly lose it, which is nice because I totally would lose it if you could. Comes with nice high quality carabiners here. It says max weight 400 pounds. Branded carabiner, looks kind of like a climbing carabiner, but still says not for climbing. So it's just a clip, not a real beaner on there, but it looks nice. And then nice rope connections here. On the straps, I did have to buy these separately, and they are from overseas, made in Vietnam, but these are the ENO brand straps. One thing to note about them, they are triple stitched on the load bearing side of the strap, and notice that they are looped unevenly, which I actually like a lot, so that it takes the load and it leaves a loop open. It never collapses on you. So the way I run these, I think it's how most people do it, but I run all the loops through the one loop on the end, so that way once you have it set, you can clip to any of these rather than having to rerun any of it. So really good quality straps, but it sucks that you have to buy them separately. This thing's nice, but now let's go look at the Anortrek. So, same type of deal. It's made out of parachute silk, which I think is just polyester. But nice lightweight material. The material feels the exact same. It's available in a lot of the same colors. I like the olive drab green just because it's a little bit less flashy. It's not as conspicuous, but I know a lot of people, especially in the hiking, camping, outdoor rec world, like a lot of these bright colors, and they look cool. It's a really nice color. I just kind of like the subdued stuff personally, but well made. So it's triple stitched on the ends. Now, one thing to note, where the ENO had a rope connector, this has a nylon strap, so that's a little bit different. The carabiner here, they didn't do anything special. This just looks like a hardware store, just basic clip that you would get. And I don't even think it's anodized black, I think it's painted. So not that that's bad, that'll totally hold everything you need to, just that's where some of the savings comes from compared to that. But is that $30 worth of savings? No, that's probably $3 worth of savings. So it gets the job done. And let's look at the straps. So same basic idea. A lot of stitches. What is that? 6 stitches on the end and then triple stitched on each of the loops. But notice that these, unlike the ENO, these are sewn flat. So if there's nothing in them, they collapse. So it looks nice in that it just looks like a single strap, but I actually prefer this style just because it's easier to reach in there and clip onto one-handed. And if you're trying to set this up without it touching the ground, you kind of got to do it one-handed. So these straps are a little bit better, but these come with it. So paying, I don't know what it was, $29, $39, something like that for the straps versus just these other ones that you already get, I wouldn't go out of my way to buy those. These work just fine. I think this strap says it's rated at 600 pounds, but that's a little bit bogus because this carabiner is probably rated at 200. I think normally those not for climbing carabiners say 150. So if you look at 150 and 150 spreading the load across both, yeah, I wouldn't recommend anybody over 300 pounds. If you're way over 300 pounds, you're probably not getting out there hammocking anyway, but you might need better carabiners. But they work the exact same way, and this thing's built really nice. And the bag is sewn in just in the same way, and it also has this little strap so you can suck it down a little bit once you put it back in the bag. One thing I noticed is this drawstring and clasp feels just a tiny bit cheaper, but again, totally serviceable. This bag is quite a bit bigger, and at first I thought that was because it was the double instead of the single, but then I realized no, that's because most of that room is actually to hold the straps. They fit in the same bag. Versus the ENO, it folds up really nice and compact in there, but you're gonna need straps to hang a hammock anyway. So if it folds up nice and compact, but you have to haul the straps in something else, that compact size doesn't really help you that much. So if I was to make a recommendation to anybody looking to go out and buy one of these hammocks today, I'd say save your money. The ENO is awesome, but if you can get 2 or 3 of these for the price of that one, and it's just as good and they're both made overseas, don't pay more for the name brand. So let's take these down. So I never actually roll it up, I just stuff it back in the stuff sack, and I always go from the middle and I leave these hooks till very last and then just tuck the hooks in, so that way when I go hang it up next time I can just clip the hook onto whatever I want to, the carabiner I mean, and pull it out and it just kind of unfurls itself. So I go from the middle, makes it nice and easy. Well, I hope you enjoyed a good look at both these hammocks, whether you go with the name brand, the ENO, or you go with the off brand, the Amazon Basics Anortrek. You really can't go wrong with either. They're a little bit different, but made very similarly, and both will work just fine for for your next camp out. So pick up a hammock, try it out, just get out there, relax, enjoy it. Until next time, stay safe, be free, and never stop seeking adventure.